All right, in our last example, we're asked to solve for a triangle. What that means is find all the missing sides and all the missing angles. We are told that these two triangles are similar to each other, so that means the sides are proportional and the angles are congruent. So, let's take a look at what we have. First, the easiest one to start with is the angles. If you look at the angles, we can see that angle Y and angle M are both 90 degrees, and that's nothing that we have to fill in up here, so that's fine. What we do know is that angle N is 20 degrees. So if angle N is 20 degrees, you can see LMN, N is going to be congruent with the Z. So N is congruent with the Z. That makes angle Z 20 degrees as well. So angle Z is 20 degrees. All right, so angle X and angle L, see how L and X are the first letters? So those are congruent to each other. Do we have any way of figuring out what those angle measures are? Well, we do if we remember that this is 90 and this is 20 and all three angles should add up to 180. You can take 180 and subtract out the 90 and subtract out the 20. And that's going to leave you with 70 degrees. So angle X and angle L are both 70 degrees. Alright, so we found our missing angles. Now we're going to focus on the missing sides. Basically we need, let's see, we need LN and we need YZ. So we are going to set up our ratios of our sides. So LM is proportional with, so here's LM over here, is proportional with XY. And we can fill in those sides as 4 over 60. That's, we knew this ratio right here, we had both pieces, so that's helpful. We're going to come back to this one in a minute. We also have MN, so here's MN, is similar to YZ, and MN is 3, and YZ, we don't know what it is, so let's go ahead and label that as an A. And then our last one is LN is similar to XZ, right here. Here's our LN and our XZ, and we'll fill in what we know. LN, we don't know what it is. XZ is 75, so maybe we can use, I would say a B, but sometimes that looks like a 6, so I'm going to use a C instead. C. Alright, now all three of these proportions are equal to each other, so we can set up any equation using these three proportions that we just came up with, the 4 over 60, the 3 over A, and the C over 75. We want to make sure that we always go back and use the one that we know to be true. We didn't have to do any math to come up with 4 over 60. So 4 over 60 is kind of our standard that we use in all of our proportions that we're about to set up. So I'm going to take 4 over 60. I'm going to set it equal to that ratio, 3 over A. And then we can take this and solve for A. 4 times A is 4A. 3 times 60 is 180. Divide both sides by 4, and A is equal to 45. So there's one of our answers. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use this 4 over 60 again, and this time I'm going to set it equal to the C over 75. So 4 over 60 is equal to C over 75. And then we'll cross multiply that. 60 times C is 60C. 4 times 75 is 300. And then divide both sides by 60. And C is equal to 5. Alright, So let's go back up to our picture. We know that A is 45. So where was A again? A was this down here, so A is 45, so that's your YZ. So YZ is 45. And then C is equal to 5, and that's your LN. So LN equals 5. And we have just solved for the triangle. We found all missing angles and all missing sides.